In the 1990s, I decided that I wanted to become a neuroscientist, in part because I wanted to know how drugs affected the brain, because I was so concerned about drug addiction. And I thought if I understood more about the brain, then I could help solve the problem of drug addiction. Hi, I'm Carl Hart. I am a professor at Columbia University and drug researcher, also author. I thought drugs were the problem because that's what we had been told. In places where I grew up, in poor neighborhoods and communities, we were told that drugs were destroying those communities. Drugs were the reasons for those communities not doing well. And so naturally, as a young person, I wanted to make a contribution to my community. And the best way I thought I could make a contribution was to fight drug addiction. And to fight drug addiction, I had to better understand how the brain worked and how drugs affected the brain. And if I figured that out, then I could solve the problem. And if I solved the problem of drug addiction, then I could improve my community. My research over the past 25 years or so showed me that I was extremely naive. I was naive to believe that drugs were the problem, because on the one hand, the problem were in those communities long before drugs like crack cocaine appeared. The research showed me also that most of the people who use drugs don't have a problem. 80–90% of those people are not addicted. They are tax-paying citizens. They are responsible. They are people who we respect. They are people who may go on to become president of the United States. One of the sort of most important findings from my research, I think, is that we did a study in which we provided crack cocaine addicts with a choice between $5 cash and a hit of crack cocaine. They came into the lab, they lived with us for about 2 or 3 weeks. And over several days, we presented them with this choice on multiple occasions. And when you present crack cocaine addicts with this choice, what you find is that they choose to take money, $5, about half of the occasion, and their drug on the other half of the occasion, which for some people was surprising because they thought that the crack cocaine users would take cocaine on every choice. But something as low as $5 shifted the choice to money on at least half of the occasion. But when you increase the amount of money, they almost never take the drug and they almost always take the money. So that was an important finding because it was consistent what we saw in the laboratory animals in rats, where if you give rats a choice between a sweet drink and a drug, they will take the sweet drink on as many opportunities as the drugs, and sometimes more than the drugs. So it was consistent with what we saw in the rat lab, and it was consistent with what we know about human behavior. If you provide humans with attractive alternatives, they're going to engage with the attractive alternative. And so I think that surprised some people, but we were happy for this finding.